conditions that we've got here now, how busy do you expect Simon Harris to be today?
Yeah, I think he's going to be reasonably busy today with the wind coming in from different directions over the whole 4.25 mile course, and the coxes, they're not majorly experienced coxes.
Yeah.
And so they're going to be pushing around looking for the good water. The wind is increasing just as we've been out here for the last few minutes, and I think he might have a job on his hand.
We will talk more on that topic in a few minutes' time, but the reserve crews, Isis and Goldie, they're out on the water at the moment, and Barry Davis has been watching their race unfold.
These were the two crews on the start, with Goldie near a camera on the Middlesex station, Isis which is the Oxford Reserve crew on the far side. So in theory, Goldie with the early advantage. And although Oxford showed in front just briefly for a couple of strokes, Goldie did get a slight early advantage. Chris Bellew.
It certainly looked as if they had the best of the start, and they pulled out quite quickly to what looked like a commanding early lead.
That's right, as they came towards the first bend, not only did Goldie have a lead, but they also had that benefit of what is probably worth a third of a length as you come round the first Fulham bend.
This, for the record, the 36th contest between the two. Goldie 23, Isis 12, and last year Goldie won in a new record time.
Yeah,
Here they are coming down past the boathouses.
This Goldie crew is a bigger and stronger crew than their Isis equivalent. It's a reverse of the boat race situation, but there's not much form between them. It has the makings, or had the makings, of a very exciting race, and as they came along the boathouses, it looked as if it was going Goldie's way at this stage.
That's right, I think, as you said, Goldie got a good lead.
So, Goldie with the advantage of the Middlesex bend in their favour, in the lead as they come towards Beverley Brook. But let's look at the situation again when we rejoin the crews, just coming short of Hammersmith Bridge. This is always a crucial point of the race, and as you can see, Isis on the far side have really done an excellent job and got themselves nicely positioned coming into the bridge, which is important, Johnny.
That's right. Although Goldie had that early lead, they didn't break clear. Isis managed to hang on, and as they come towards the bend, this bend is now worth a third of a length in Isis's favour, and they're in a good position to take advantage of that. What they were looking to do was hold Cambridge wide round the bend and push them out across the river to make as much as they could of this bend's advantage.
But as they turned, as Isis had the advantage of the bend, the cox Rebecca Pollard did seem to pull them very tight to the Surrey station. For a while we thought that she was out of the stream.
We did. We thought that she perhaps was losing advantage and might let Goldie back into the picture, but it wasn't to stay that way.
No, it certainly wasn't, and we're now looking at live pictures as they've come under Barnes Bridge towards the final bend, and it's Isis who lead. A good length and a half clear water, maybe even more, Johnny, for your reserve crew.
Yeah, this is a fantastic result. Everyone knew this was a much better Isis crew than there has been for a while. They had good results at Reading Head, and in some of the fixtures they've done, the private fixtures, they've been going well. They brought back in Kevin McWilliams, who did some coaching 2 years ago when they won, and it looks like that's been a good change.
Yes, he's been assisted by Nick Howell. But this is an impressive performance. I have to say that I did say quietly to Kevin during the week that I thought that the Isis crew looked neater than the Blue Boat.
Yes, I think that's certainly true. And the Goldie crew's been going well, and so this has certainly been an extremely fine effort by the Isis crew. Goldie essentially did not defend that. No, they had an opportunity as they came off the end of the Surrey bend, and they couldn't close the gap on Isis. Isis had it all their own way as they came towards Barnes Bridge, and all credit to them. It's been a great row.
The Isis crew, 8 British, 1 American, 1 survivor from 99, and 2 when they won in 98. And Rebecca Pollard, their cox, came late to the task. She's a 6th year medic, and she only learned to cox up at Oxford under the tuition of Abby Chapman when she was at St Hilda's. So we can see as they come round the bend, 250 yards to go when they reach that point, which is about 45 seconds in these conditions.
45 seconds, about maybe 20 strokes, 25 strokes, depending on how close together they are. As it is here, I don't want to tempt fate, but I don't think Isis will be getting overtaken now.
I think Goldie gave whatever they had to give. I have a feeling that they weren't expecting this, and doubtless from Isis' perspective they want to get as far away from them as possible.
Well, it's very interesting that in the boat race has been this long sequence for Cambridge. They had a similar sequence in the ISIS Goldie race. Goldie winning 8 successive years, then Oxford won, then Cambridge won again last year in the record time 16:58, and now it's clearly ISIS's turn again.
The thing that I think might be interesting from this is people talk a lot about the slickness of Cambridge. Oxford have a far more aggressive style, which we'll probably be seeing in the blue boats later, but perhaps although it doesn't look so pretty, it may well be quite effective.
And they come to the finishing line. Success for Richard Evelyn, Eric Brand, Edward Foster, Hugh Tanner, Michael Broadwith, Michael Bonham, Nicholas O'Grady, Philip Beard, and the cox Rebecca Pollard. And a comprehensive win by the reserve Oxford boat from ISIS. Johnny
yes.
Searle is wreathed in smiles.
Don't get to smile that much these days. Yeah, they look a bit more pleased than I do, but yeah, I'm sure they'll be delighted with that, as with our whole coaching team.
17:36, unofficially the winning time, which indicates the difference in the conditions between this year and last year. But first blood to ISIS, although whether it will have an effect upon the boat race remains to be seen, because they're going to be the opposite way around of stations in the boat race.
Yes, it is quite ominous though, because we know that there is not a huge amount between the two different sides, the Goldie and blue boat.
Well, Matthew Pinson, already it's a better year for Oxford with that ISIS victory.
Certainly is. No, I think that's a good result, a great result, and it cracks a little bit this theory that Cambridge have got it all their own way, and it's the Cambridge system that turns out fantastic crews year after year. I mean, you know, Goldie have had a tremendous run. They lost 2 years ago, but that seemed to be a blip. But now ISIS have come back and done it again. I think that's a real positive sign for the Oxford camp.
And does the good news get back to the blue boat?
Well, I was just saying that in one of my years, we just got onto the state boat, and there's a couple of guys there who are in charge of holding your boat. And just as we got on for the race, one of them said, "I thought you'd like to know ISIS got stuffed by 4 lengths." And at that stage, you got 2 or 3 minutes before your race goes off, and here's this joker having a right go at you. But no, I think it's very unlikely that they'll find out. And to be honest, it doesn't make any difference. Their race is completely separate. ISIS, Goldie, they can't make any difference now to what the blue boat does on the day. You've got to concentrate totally on your own job and hopefully get a victory out of it.
Now, they've headed down the river. The two crews have been out on the water for some 25-30 minutes now. What sort of routine have they been going through?